I wanted to respond to an email that I received. I was asked about the sync options in the Ableton Move. Well, how do you set it up and what is it for? So let's say you're in the studio or you're jamming out with somebody else, and believe it or not, I still love this device. I think it serves its purpose. It does what it does. But anyway, for the purposes of this example, I just happen to be using the KO2. So let's say you're in the studio, you're jamming out, or you work with somebody else and they happen to have a KO2, you have an Ableton Move. But you do something on your Move, let's say you do the drums and somebody else does another melody on the KO2. How are you gonna get those two things to sync? That's where the MIDI sync option comes into play. So that both devices are talking to each other and they're both in sync with each other. At the time of this recording, you cannot receive the clock from another device, but they say that that is coming. They just haven't added it yet. The example I'm going to show is just how to set it up. If you happen to be using this device, every device is going to be a little different, but pretty similar because they all have sync or some type of MIDI sync option. If you want a little help setting up the device that you may have or the device that you may use, let me know in the comments or whatever, and maybe I'll do a video on that to show you how to set that particular device up. But for now, we're just going to do this just so you can kind of see the use case scenario as to how this can be useful and what you can use it for. First thing we're going to do is go into the Move, and we're going to go into settings, and you're going to scroll down to the MIDI option. When you scroll down to MIDI, you have the option MIDI in, MIDI out, track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4, so on and so on. You know how that goes. So right now we already have it on MIDI out. I have it on track 2 so that way it doesn't trigger the same sounds that's in the KO2. Let me just show you what I mean since I'm in here. Right now it's on track 2. So it's only going to play the sounds on the Move. But if I was to move this to track 1, now it's going to play the sounds from the KO2. We don't want the sounds to play on top of each other, so I'm going to shift this to track 2. And now the Move will play the Move sounds and the EP will play the EP sounds. So that's all set up. Let's go to the KO2 and we're going to set this up. We know it's set up because I just triggered it, but just to show you the settings, go into the MIDI, clock. We're going to set this one to in because we're sending out here. So it's coming out of here and it's going into the KO2. So now we know that we're set up. So I got this going on in the KO2. This little whack piece here just for demo purposes. Whatever. I don't have anything on the Move right now, but we're going to do something right now. So let's say we did that. I got that going. And this guy over here did this. And we want to get these two things going at the same time, doing the same thing. So we're going to use the Move to trigger everything else. Voila. And the start and stop is through the Move too, because remember the Move is the master. This is what's syncing everything else. And if you go to tempo in the EP, you'll see it says external. And you can even set the loop. And that's pretty much it. So that's how you use your MIDI sync and what you would use it for. The setup is going to be a little different depending on the device that you use, but it's all the same concept. Nothing too crazy. It's just a way to sync everything so that everything starts and stops at the same time and all sounds and melodies play in sync with each other. I hope that helps. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video.